Welcome to Hidden Histories of the Scottish Borders, a podcast series from Thistle and Time. Today's episode is Littledean Tower, Gunloops, Ghosts, and a Hidden Hoard. Just above a bend in the River Tweed, near the village of Maxton, a lonely ruin stands in the corner of a field. Half veiled by trees and perched on a steep bank, it keeps its silent watch over the border's landscape. At first glance, Littledean Tower is merely a fragment of stone and history. But linger a while and you'll find it has stories still to tell. Of border reavers and of war, of a ghostly horseman and a restless spirit, and even hidden treasure. Littledean Tower was built in the 16th century by the formidable Kerr family, one of the great riding families of the borders, and a branch of the infamous Cessford Kerrs. With reaving a way of life in these parts, it's likely Littledean played its own role in the nighttime economy of cattle theft, blackmail and revenge. Its position was no accident. Near a ford on the Tweed, the tower commanded a key crossing point. Anyone travelling here, friend, foe, merchant or moss trooper, might well find themselves under Kerr scrutiny. The mid-1500s brought yet another war to the Scottish borders. This time it was the rough wooing, Henry VIII's brutal attempt to force a marriage between the infant Mary Queen of Scots and his son Edward. It was diplomacy at sword's point. It was also designed to break Scotland's old alliance with France. In 1544, English forces swept through the region, destroying towns and villages, and Littledean Tower was attacked. The Barmkin, the outer defensive wall, fell. Yet the tower itself refused to burn, probably thanks to a layer of clay or turf used as primitive fireproofing. The Kerrs, determined not to be caught out again, rebuilt and strengthened. They added a D-shaped gun tower to the western side, and by 1550 6 oval gun loops and a timber gun carriage slot bristled at ground level. You can still see those features today. As lairds of Maxton, the Kerrs ruled this landscape, keeping order, administering justice, and playing their part in the shifting politics of the marches, just as their cousins at Cessford and Ferniehurst were doing. But power ebbs as well as flows. By the 18th century, the family had moved to Nenthorne House. Littledean Tower was abandoned and left to weather, ruin, and legend. One legend surrounding the tower comes from an 1879 account by William Henderson. He tells of a former mistress of Littledean, hard, grasping, and endlessly hoarding her wealth. After death, she returned, her spirit bound to the treasure she had prized too dearly. A maid of the Kerr family, it is said, encountered the ghost and was led to a secret stash hidden beneath the stairs. The spirit begged her to divide the hoard between the laird, the poor of Maxton, and herself. When the maid did so, the restless soul was finally freed and the hauntings ceased. If that sounds too neat an ending, there's a darker tale still. Some say a Kerr laird can sometimes be seen at night, riding or walking near the ruined walls. A cruel man in life, He is said to have taken up with a witch, who later strangled him in his sleep with her severed arm. Whether you believe these stories or not, Littledean Tower is a place where silence feels full of memory. In its day, Littledean Tower rose to 4 stories with an attic. It had a vaulted basement, and a spiral stair reached its great hall. A barmkin, its courtyard wall, likely housed outbuildings. Today, Littledean Tower is a dramatic ruin. The main block has crumbled, its eastern wall largely gone, but the western D-shaped military tower and its gunloops still stand firm. You can see these remains for yourself. The tower sits on farmland, but it's accessible under the Scottish Outdoor Access Code. From the A699 road, go through Plowlands Farm and follow the track towards the river. Then walk east along the tree line into the field. It's only a 5 to 15 minute walk, depending on where you park. But be sure of your footing and beware the steep drop behind the ruin down to the River Tweed. Littledean Tower may be broken, but the stories it holds remain. Stories of war, watchfulness, and whispered superstition on the edge of a frontier. Join me next time as we uncover another forgotten corner of our past in Hidden Histories of the Scottish Borders. If you've enjoyed this story, please follow or subscribe for more journeys into Scotland's past. And for more information about the historic sites of Scotland, please see the website thistleandtime.scot.